Everybody, come on in. Everybody, come on in. Make sure you share this video. Tag your people. And let them know somebody's business is live. What's up, Erica? Y'all come on in, come on in, come on in. And talk to me while you on here, because I can't see who all on here. Come on in, because we on time, baby. Come on in. We on time. We on time. Come on in. What's up, Tasha? Let your people know we live over here. We live over here on YouTube and YouTube only. What's up, Talithia? Everybody come on in. Make sure you share this video on your Facebook pages. What's up? Make sure you share this video on your Facebook pages. Make sure you share it everywhere you can share it, because as you guys know as well as I know that incest, sexual molestation, rape, inappropriate touching, sexual assault, all that is prevalent in the Black community. And today we're going to talk about it. Come on in, Mary. Come on in, Laterra. Come on in, Princess and Raven. Y'all come on in. Tag your people. We on some real shit right now. Make sure, what's up, Terry? Make sure that if you have daughters, like I stated in my video earlier, if you have a daughter, get your baby and put it in front of the TV and let her listen to this story, because this is real life. And most of us who have been molested or sexually assaulted, it happened when we were children. So this is not an inappropriate topic for your children to not hear. They should definitely be in front of the TV. Every little girl, every little boy, they sit them down in front of the TV and let them know they about to get ready to watch some real stuff. Because it's when it happened. Ain't nobody really trying to touch on this when we grown. So we need to get the babies while they young. Hey, bro. Hey, y'all. I love y'all. I've been missing y'all. Hey, Yvette. Hey, Dana. Hey, Brenda and Shanika and Keisha and Cammy and Tracy. Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. Okay. So we're finna go ahead on and get started, and make sure that you guys continue to share this video and stay vocal in the chat, as we always do. But today we have Miss Alexis Williams, and she is on here today to tell her story, and she is on here to free herself. She is on here to let this shit go. Yeah. And it ain't for to bash anybody or anything like that. It is for her. It's for her, and it's for any other person that it could possibly happen to, or that it has happened to. And hopefully, because if it's one victim, it's 10. So hopefully it gives them the courage, and it empowers them to come forward and tell their story also, and not just her and people that she know, but people that's on here and other people that's gonna watch this video. So thank you, Miss Alexis, for joining us today, this evening.
Hello, thank you.
On somebody's business. And first I want to say, you got some love in the comments. It's gonna be a whole lot of love in the comments. You ain't got to worry about when you go back and watch this feeling like you wasted your time, or you should be ashamed or anything like that. I guarantee you, when you leave this interview, you're gonna be free. So first of all, introduce yourself to the people and tell us where you from, girl.
So I'm Alexis. I am from Mobile, Alabama. I currently live in Tennessee now, but I'm from Mobile. I don't know.
Okay. That's it. You from Mobile, Alabama. Her name Alexis. That's all y'all need to know. What's up, Shasta? So let's get started. Okay. First of all, we are going to talk about a very touchy subject. but something that you're also ready to talk about.
Yeah.
You
I've
was
been ready
like,
to talk about. I'm ready to get it out and get over it and put this behind me. Move on with
yes.
my life. Yeah.
Okay, so take us from the beginning. How were you as a little girl? How was Alexis as a little girl?
Okay. So, as a little girl, Alexis was in a lot of trouble. Alexis stayed in a lot of trouble. I had a lot of like behavioral problems in school. Fighting all the time. I would, especially, I mean, every year. I mean, I guess middle school, elementary, high school. I just had a lot of issues in school, and if I would talk to counselors a lot about stuff, and give them bits and pieces of things, but not enough, or just some things, and I don't know. So I as a little girl, Alexis was a badass little kid. She was bad. She stayed in a lot of trouble. Um, I I don't know.
So let me ask you this. When you say you were a bad kid, at the time that you consider yourself a bad kid, were you just a bad kid, or were you starting to go through what you went through and acting out?
I was acting out. I definitely was acting out. So this started when I was really, really young. Um,
How old were you?
like four, the first time. I was really young. My mom was not around a lot. She was in the clubs. My mom was a party girl. Drugs and all that stuff was really big back in the day. So my mom was experimenting with a lot of stuff, and she just didn't pay attention to her kids. So we lived in Orange Grove. We grew up in Orange Grove. Or not grew up in Orange Grove, but we lived in Orange Grove. We lived in Pritchard and Somerville. And my mom would just like, when we lived in Orange Grove, my mom would leave us with people to watch us, or just leave us at home by ourselves while she went out and did whatever she was doing. And we went from people house, anybody's house. Whoever watched her kids, she let them watch her kids. So my mama didn't. It's not like she kept us from harm's way. Whoever keep her kids for her to go out and party, that's where she was at. Um, I had a lot of behavior issues, and I guess nobody just tried to, figure out what was going on. It was more of she bad, she bad, she
Mhm,
fast, she this, she that. You know how everybody got their own little thing.
mhm.
Um, when when I first found out, or when we first, okay, so when I was way younger. Me and my cousins, we had discussed it one time before. Like we had discussed what was going on with us, and discussed that he was doing it. Like I think one of my cousins was like, "Do they ever, like touch you or hump you or anything?"
And what's his name? What's his name, by the
His
way?
name is LaDedrick Jermaine West. His name is
Okay.
LaDedrick,
Okay.
but they call him Dad. So my cousin asked me if Dad ever touched me or something, and I guess we kind of was like relaying stories or whatever. But at the time, see, this is the thing. Okay, at the time when my mama, back in the day, my mom was out, like I said. So the stuff that was happening to us didn't seem so bad. It seemed like it was just normal. I don't see my mom have sex in front of me. My
Oh
sister that's
wow.
up under me, she didn't see my mom have sex in front of her.
Right.
So these things weren't like bad things. Like it was just something we was doing as bad kids we shouldn't have been doing. Like
Right.
we, as bad kids, we was letting somebody touch on us and hump us and all that stuff. And basically we were just bad kids. And that's how I felt about it at the time back then. We just being bad kids doing something we ain't supposed to be
Mhm,
doing.
mhm.
I didn't know that something was wrong with it until I guess we moved to Tennessee for a little while, and then they started talking about stuff on videos at school and stuff about if somebody touch you inappropriate. Because my mom never had those talks with us. My mom never said if somebody touch you, you come tell me, none of that stuff. So we got up here, and they was having stories and telling us different things. And one year my stepdad put us out and made us go back home. He put us out, and we went back to Mobile, and we was living with my auntie. So while we was living with my auntie, he was over there too. Dedrick was living over there too.
Is
And
this the
we
first?
just
Is this the first time that it happened?
no, this is
Okay,
the
but
this is
let
when
me.
it started. This is when
So
it started happening
let
to
me take.
everybody else.
Okay, okay. Let me take you back to your
Okay.
first time that it happened to you.
Okay.
So, do you remember the first time that it happened to you?
I mean, I don't remember the first time. I remember incidents. I don't remember like
Okay.
this is the exact first time.
What's your youngest memory that you have of it?
Um, us going in his room. He used to have a football helmet in his room. Us going in the room and he making me turn around to the corner with the helmet on. And he said, when you turn around, I'm gonna have a surprise for you. And when he turned around, it was his penis for me to suck. That was a surprise. And that was at my granddaddy's house. That was my very first memory.
About how old were you then?
I think I was about 4 years old.
Wow.
That's what the surprise was. The surprise was his penis for me to suck.
Okay, look, so what in that what goes through your head at 4?
In the
when you turn
moments, I
around?
really just thought that this was some bad kid shit that I was doing. At that time, I didn't think it was wrong. Like in the beginning,
Because you had been seeing it, because you had been exposed. Okay.
I never thought anything was wrong with it. Like I didn't think anything was wrong with it at the time. When it was happening, even when me and my cousins discussed had it happen to us, I didn't think nothing was wrong. Like I didn't. It took for me to, for some other adult to say if somebody's touching you inappropriate, doing this, doing that, that's a bad thing. And that's how I realized that what we was doing was wrong. Like what was going on was wrong. You want me to move forward? You want me to go back?
Well, look. So what was, if you don't mind, because if you don't want to answer no questions, you don't have to. What were some of the things that he was like teaching y'all? Because that's what they be doing, teaching you.
I don't say teaching. I mean like putting his fingers in it. He taught me how to suck a dick. Learn how to do that. Just different stuff. It was in the beginning, like I guess when we were young, it was more like dry humping and stuff. Since we were so little, he was like hunching us, burning clothes, touching it, making us suck it, different things like that.
Did he ever put his mouth on y'all?
No, he was stuff. He just wanted it for himself.
Mm.
No, he didn't do that to us. He more of just touching us, fingering us, tongue kissing. I don't do that. He used to tongue kiss a lot. I don't even tongue kiss my husband because it makes me feel about it. A lot of stuff like that. So he taught us how to kiss, I guess. Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah.
No, go ahead. What you have to say?
No, I'm trying not to go and get, I'm not trying to get emotional. So yeah, just stuff like that. Just stuff that still I was too young to know. It was nothing for me to be doing. Things that I shouldn't be doing. So my mom found out when I was 14, right before I went into the 8th grade.
So how was that conversation? Did you go in the room? Was she at the house?
I'm gonna tell you how it happened. Okay, so we went to go live with my auntie for a little while. Like I said, my stepdad had put us out. So my 7th grade year, I spent in Mobile going to Azalea. So that time he was kicking it hard, tough with my mom, because this is my mom's stepbrother. So this is my mom's stepbrother. This is my granddaddy's stepchild.
Okay.
So my mom and him was smoking weed together, kicking it, hanging out and stuff. And
Let me ask you one question. When you were 4, how old was he?
I don't know.
But was he like a teenager?
I think he a teenager. He was a teenager.
Like 50.
Okay. Yeah, he was a teenager. He wasn't a child. He was a teenager. I have a picture of us. I didn't bring it. I didn't prepare to bring it, but I have a picture of us, and you could tell he was way older than us in the pictures. Wow. My auntie. Okay, so we was with my auntie. My mama was coming to get him. They was smoking all the time. So his mama put him out of the house because he was kicking it with my mama too much. So my mom put him. His mom put him out. He came to live with us in my auntie house. And I guess that's when he introduced himself to younger siblings and cousins and everybody else. So when we came back to Tennessee, the way that it came out was we was at this lady named Sylvia's house. My mom used to go kick up this lady named Sylvia, do her little drugs with her. And a phone call came on the phone, and it was my aunt letting her know that something had occurred and she needed to figure out if something happened to her children too. So my mama started off with my little sisters, taking them to the bathroom, asking them questions. And when she brought them back, I was like, what is mama asking y'all? Because she was taking them one by one. So I was like, what is mama asking y'all? And they told me what mama was asking them. So when she got ready to take me back, then I told her, my mama was mad. She was angry with me because it's like, you could have prevented this from happening to my kids. Like, you would open your mouth, you could have prevented this. But if you never taught me to open my mouth, right. I'm like, yeah, you ain't even never made it comfortable for me to open my mouth. Like, everything that I say to you, she just never made it comfortable. My mom has never been the person you can go and talk to about something that has happened to you. Cause it's like she don't have no emotions. I don't know if it's that time where they grew up, but my mom don't have no emotions. She don't care. She just don't care. She just don't care. Um, so she was very angry. Like I could have prevented it happening from her to her other kids, especially her husband kids. I think that she was more concerned like I can ruin her marriage. I let this happen to her kids. I let this happen to her husband kids. And after that, she started putting me out. So I didn't live with my mama no more after that. Like I probably stayed
Okay, so wait, so when you told your mama about what happened, she said that you ruined her marriage.
No, I was no. When I
Okay,
told mama, it was more of like she was upset because I let this happen to her other kids with the kids she had with her husband.
right.
So I mean, it was my fault that if something happened with their marriage, it would have been my fault because I let this happen to her children. I never said anything. I could have opened my mouth and said something. That
But you
was my
didn't know
mama
how to
whole thing.
speak.
I was so grown growing up. I should have been grown enough to open my mouth. Is what my mama felt like.
Wow.
So I probably lived with my mama maybe a couple, maybe 2 months for after that or whatever, and she started putting me out all the time. I don't know if it was her putting me out or her husband putting me out, but I couldn't be around their kids. I couldn't be around them. I didn't get to see my siblings.
Wow,
Um,
because you was the fast girl.
or it was my fault. I
That
let it happen to them. I didn't protect them. I could have told somebody when it was just happening to me, but I let it happen to everybody else.
wow.
Um, After that point, when they found out, I seen him only one more time. I had never seen him again, but one more time we had went down to Mobile for something, and I don't know who house we was at, but when we went to the door, it was dark outside. We went to the door. When we got to the door, knocked on the door, he opened the door, and I was blowed because my auntie was there, and I'm just like, okay. And I remember saying, well, I don't even want to come in. I want to go sit back in the car. And I remember going to sit back in the car because why would y'all let him be here? Like, why is he here?
Right.
Anywho, time passed. We never seen him again. I guess they just kept us away from him. Time passed, and it bothered me. It's bothered me for years. It's bothered me ever since my mom found out. I think when I was pregnant with my daughter Janaya, I was pregnant with my middle child. She had came up to the house one day, and we got into an argument about something. She was like, "It's your fault that all this happened. It's your fault, and you should open your mouth and all this stuff." And I'm like, "Okay, we still blaming me. I get it. It's my fault, and I understand what part I
No, no, no. Because let me close. So we ain't gonna let you take no blame for this. I'm gonna tell you why you don't take no blame for it. You can't take blame for something that you was never taught. If your mama is fucking in front of you, and it ain't no kind of discipline in the house, and that ain't nothing that she made sure that was private, and she didn't get caught doing it, and it wasn't a big deal. You want some? How could you know that when somebody fucking on you that it ain't a big deal? If she didn't make your body being sacred a big deal, how were you supposed to know that it's a big deal? It's not your fault at all. So you can't take like no blame for being a child that wasn't taught these things. Like you can't. You can't.
Well, when I say take blame, the part that I say I take the blame for is once I got old enough, like I just came out this year about it. Like I literally just came out this year about it.
You
I
still
could have
can't
been
take blame. No, 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 no. You did it in your own time, Alexis. I didn't come out to my 30s. I'm 40 now. I didn't come out. I didn't get on here and scream it until my 30s. It had to be time for me. I had to make sure I was built up enough to accept the backlash that was gonna come with it. I was built up enough, to take people not talking to me no more and family completely cutting me off. And I had to be, and it took me that long to get to that point where when I got on here and said my truth, I didn't give a fuck. So you're doing it at the right time for you. It ain't about nobody else. Because once it happened to them, although it happened to them, it was up to them to have their time to be able to come when they're ready. They'll come and say you was a child. The only person that was supposed to protect you was your mama, and she didn't do her job. Your parents, your mama, and your daddy, and she didn't do her job. So that ain't got nothing to do with you. But your timing is still, you still ain't, you ready now. If you would have tried to do it maybe a year ago, you probably wouldn't even be able to sit on here and be as strong as you are. You did it when you were supposed to do it. It's perfect. Okay.
okay. So I came out in January this year. I actually It's been eating at me. Like, it's been eating at me for years. Like right after I got married, for some reason I feel like it started getting heavy on me, like really, really hard. I don't know if it's because, I got daughters or what, but it just started weighing on me heavy. So for the last 6, 7 years, it's been killing me. I'm talking about just killing me. And I mean, like having to take medicine because I'm just depressed and all kinds of stuff. So early this year, I reached out to my granddaddy and I was like, hey, I'm gonna come out and tell everybody what happened because, he's still out in the streets. I had been lying for years. I had been telling people, like, I used to tell everybody. I told my brother, mama. I told everybody. Told my people on my daddy's side of the family, people, friends, everybody in Tennessee, anybody I could tell. I've always told, but it's like, well, what happened to him? And it's like, oh, nothing. And it was embarrassing to keep saying that. So at some point, I just said he died. They killed him. He dead. Then I would tell people that my husband didn't know he wasn't dead until this year. Like this year, I finally told my husband, I was like, I've been telling you he dead. He not dead. Like he in Mobile. I ain't never seen him again, but I know he in Mobile. He not dead. Because it was just embarrassing. Like when you live for people, especially like my grandparents, I've lived for my granddaddy. I've lived my life for my granddaddy. I try to do everything to be this perfect child for him. Like everything that I did wrong that I used to do, I try to, come back and fix it and, make myself a better person living for them. And y'all don't give a fuck about me. But I called my granddaddy to tell him I was gonna say it, and he was like, why do you have to feel the need to want to say this now? Why can't you just let God handle it? And it just, at that point, it was like my confirmation that it's okay to just go ahead and just kill everybody off and just be okay with it. And that's what I did. I literally killed everybody in Alabama off. Like none of them hear from me, none of them see me. Y'all dead. I put it on the internet and I got calls, I got FaceTimes, I got everything. And I even had a cousin to tell me that this shit normal. Like, one time we had somebody come live with us and they was touching on such and such. And my dad just handled the situation, just told him we don't do that. That ain't how, but yeah, that's all he did. He didn't kick his ass and put him in jail. Like, this is normal for my family. My family just, they talk about it. We don't do that. And then we move on. Mm-hmm. And I can't live like that because he doing it to somebody else.
Yeah.
If he done moved on and he ain't in around your kids, just because you kept us around from him, because you did, just because you kept him away from us, don't mean he ain't doing it to somebody else.
And I say it all the time. If you just tell him, okay, don't be around my kids no more. First of all, he's not already damaged your kids. And then you just gave him a pass to go damage somebody else's kids because you didn't do what needed to be done to get him locked up and have some consequences. Ain't no consequences when you say just gone on. You shoo him on, gone on. Ain't no consequences to that. So ain't no reason to stop. It is just, they just know they can just go on to the next family. And that's what they do.
So, and that was my whole point of coming out. It was not to like embarrass anybody or anything. It was more of just, I can't live knowing another day that it's kids out there and I might be letting them be victims. Like I've already let it happen to my siblings, let it happen to my cousins. Let
me tell you something. You didn't let it happen to nobody. Well, that's a sick individual. Let me tell you, you gotta stop. Because it's for some reason you feel like you got to take some part. Look, if you didn't tell and then didn't nobody else tell after you, didn't nobody tell. How you going to, did anybody else tell after you? Let me just ask you that.
They just found out.
So listen.
My cousin.
So listen. So how you going to take all the burden, right? Because it happened to you and it happened before you. You weren't the first person, right? And so you didn't tell. And then when it happened to them, they didn't tell. And then when it happened to that person, they didn't tell. You can't take all the blame for everybody else not opening their mouth too. Because at some point, everybody else matured and got old enough where they could tell.
Well, yeah.
Okay?
I think because I was the oldest.
But I was the oldest too. But look, no. We all could have told. We know that was wrong, then what the fuck do you expect us to do? Yeah. What you expect us to do? If this is normalized in the family, what you expect? It ain't nobody's fault but his, period. He was the adult. He knew that it was wrong. He decided to do that, and he did that. And you don't get to take no blame for that. And your sisters and whoever else don't get to take no blame for being a child doing what they thought that they supposed to do. So you don't get no blame for that. None. For being the oldest, for none of that. You was doing what you was supposed to do. Be a child and doing what children do, what they see. That's it. That's it. So let me ask you, when you and your cousins like got in like the little huddle and y'all started having a conversation, right, about what happened, what did you discover?
That it was happening to them too at the time. Oh, so my cousins are like a year younger than me, so it was happening to them too. At this time, I didn't know it was happening to my younger siblings or nothing. It was just us. So I would have been at the time that we was discussing this. I probably was like 12. We was talking. I was like 12 years old. They probably was 11. We at my auntie house. And we just discussing like, do he do this when y'all over here? Do he go like at one time we was out at the gate, and I don't know if we was barbecuing out or what, but we got to the gate and he was fingering me, and I ended up telling my cousin like when I was like yeah yesterday he put his fingers inside, like he ain't never did that before. It's usually on the outside, but he put it inside, and my cousin was just like, yeah, he do that, and he put his tongue in our mouth. And
like, how old were y'all at this point when this conversation happened?
I think I was like 12 and they was like 11. Mm-hmm. And I probably didn't use the word finger, and I probably just say he put his hand inside. Yeah. And it don't say my mama always like she wanted me to be a whore. Like she made me out to be this whore. Like one time she was like, she don't take me to the doctor to see if I'm a virgin or not and all this stuff. And I was probably like 13, 14 years old. And I don't remember what, I think I was holding a baby. That's what it was. I was holding my stepdaddy's sister came down. She had a baby. And we was at a meeting because my mama Jehovah's Witness. We went to a meeting and she was like, you so fast, you want to hold kids all the time, you always want to be up under kids and all this stuff. And she was like, I'm gonna take you to the doctor to see, if you been fucking or not. And I'm just like, because I like kids, like, go ahead and take me so we can see if something else can happen to me. Like, go ahead and take me so we can go ahead and talk about other stuff. And I feel like my mama knew stuff was going on. To be honest, I really feel like she knew. It's just she don't want to be accountable for nothing that she did, and it's still to this day. You can't. There's nothing that she can be accountable for doing.
So look. So let me say, have you had tried to have that hard conversation with her?
Yes, and it's just like it happened. Get over it. Like, what you want me to do? Like, life goes.
Apologize.
My auntie even. Oh, she not apologizing. You'll never get. She not even apologizing to other kids. She's not even gonna apologize to her other kids. She's not gonna apologize. That ain't my mom. My mama don't play that apology.
Do she have a relationship with any of y'all?
My third is 4 of us. So the third sister, her, they kind of like close. Yeah.
Okay, let me just say something right quick. To the mama, if you see this video, the mama stay in Mobile?
No, my mama live here in Tennessee.
Well, somebody tag her or whoever know the mama. If somebody on here end up knowing the mama, send the mama this video. To her mama, look, let me tell you something, ma'am. Look, ain't no use to you dying and you ain't none of your children have nothing to do with you because you ain't a woman enough to say I'm sorry. If you'd have sat here and screwed in front of your children, if you'd have sat here and know that you have been less than a mother in front of your children and you done did some trifling stuff, look, you did it. You did it. They know you did it. You can't even deny that you did it. And instead of not taking no accountability, maybe you need to have a conversation and see, tell them about how you grew up, which probably got you fucked up, and the way that you are, so they can see you not only as their mother, but see you as a woman. Because we tend to see our parents as just mothers. We don't really see them through the eyes of she a woman like I am. But if you humble yourself, ma'am, whomever you are, if you humble yourself and allow them to see you as a woman and be honest with them about the shit that you did and take accountability for the stuff that you did, just because it happened, that shit right there. I don't think people understand that what an apology can do. what taking accountability can do for a person, how it can just make everything go away and fade, and forgiveness and healing can take place. I wouldn't want my kids to be around here hate me because I'm too proud to say I fucked up.
Yeah. Well, you don't know my mom. I think my mom died before she ever tells somebody she's sorry. That's not in her. It's just not in her. And I've learned to just accept that.
Yeah, you got to. When you get to a point like that with somebody like that, that's what I had to learn. Because me and my mom hasn't always been close, but we have worked on it and it has been a job. But I had to just learn that my mom is who she is. And the reason why it was driving me crazy trying to and why I just couldn't get along with her is because I wanted to make her be who I needed her to be instead of accepting her for who she was. Once I could accept her for who she was, then I could love her in the capacity that I could love the person that she was. You see what I'm saying? Because when you accept people for who they are, whether it's your mama or whatever, and you say, you know what, this is who she is. Like you said, she ain't gonna take no accountability, and you stop hoping for them to do something different and just this who they is. That's when you can forgive for real. That's when you can forgive and you can move on. And it sounds like, honestly, I hope today that you and your mom can really sit down and have a conversation, because she probably was abused.
And I've asked her that. She said no. I asked her that like this year.
Let me tell you something. For your mama to sit around here and think that it's okay to have sex in front of y'all, my mama needs you to come on and keep it real and all that kind of stuff. Because ain't don't none of us come into the world thinking that it's okay to fuck in front of our children. There's some shit that you got to see. There's some shit that you got to be taught in order for you to mentally, just think about it. Can you mentally go up in there and bust it open in front of your fucking kids? Ain't nothing in you that's telling you, Alicia, go in there and drop it low in front of the kids. And for you to feel like it's okay for you to have an orgasm in front of your kids. No. No, don't nobody come into the world with that. That's something that you see. Just like you ain't just know how to suck dick. I tell people all the time, if you catch your little girl sucking dick, or you catch your little girl fucking and shit, and you know she at an age where she shouldn't be doing no shit like that, beat her ass. That I have learned is not the first thing that you should do. It's a conversation that needs to be had, because you know you ain't raised to suck dick. If you ain't taught her how to suck dick, somebody else taught her.
Mm-hmm. And I like I said, all the behavior issues, like another thing I used to play with myself all the time. I was, I guess, hypersexual or whatever. So you might catch me with my hands in my pants a lot. That was something I just did. Like the signs was there. The getting in trouble was there. Like all the signs was there. It was
so did she ever catch you playing? Did she ever catch you?
It's been plenty of times she didn't call me playing with myself, and she just beat my ass and we just move on from it. I was fast. That was my problem. I was just so fast.
See what I mean? Somebody had to teach you about what that even feel like to even fuck with that down there and make you want to rub it.
Mm-hmm. And I got in trouble about that a lot. Like I can vouch. I got in trouble. My auntie can. I got in trouble about that a lot. And it was just, I don't know, just something that I did. It felt good, and I did it because I don't know. But it's no accountability. I've forgiven her this year. After all this came out, it took me a long time to kind of get over all this, even to come to this point where me and you were talking. Because when I first approached you in like June or July, I wasn't ready. Like it came along. It took a lot of counseling. It took a lot of tears. It took a lot of, okay, I'm ready to do this. Like, because I don't know. I got 2 little girls. I will kill somebody over my kids. I love my kids to death. I want this to happen to my kids, and I just think if I don't say something about it now, he could be doing it to somebody else's kids. Like,
he's doing it to somebody. He ain't stop.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's like, and I look at my kids, I'm like, you know, it's somebody else out there, and I can't sleep. I can't, continue to function knowing that you just out here in these streets and we just pretending like nothing is going on. Mm-hmm. And that's what we all do. We pretending. Let God handle it. And I no disrespect, but I need something else happen. I can't just wait and let God handle it, because this man might turn 50, 60, 70 years old. He might get some years on him. And then I'm just sitting around waiting and
Right.
waiting and waiting.
No, when people say let God handle it, that just means shut the fuck up about it.
Yeah.
That's what that means.
And oh, so about as far as like, okay, so when my mama and them found out, everybody found out, we were supposed, my aunt's version of the story is that that she had told my mom to come down there. We had went to the child, she had went to the child advocacy center, and she told my mom to come down there. My mom said she didn't want to put her kids through that trauma. That's why she didn't. That's why they never pressed charges against him. The reason why they didn't press charges, she didn't put her kids through that trauma. But my mama told my sister the reason why she didn't do anything is because my granddaddy told her to leave it alone and not do anything. So I don't even know what the truth is. I don't know who dropped the ball. I have no idea who dropped the ball. I know that my auntie supposedly went down there.
Everybody that was grown and knew about it dropped the ball.
Well, yeah, that too.
Yeah, everybody that was grown and that knew about it dropped the ball. Your village dropped the ball. Because if anybody outside your mama knew, your mama was the first person to drop the ball. And then, if your dad was around, he dropped the ball too.
So my dad was locked up. My dad was locked
up.
Okay,
Well, your mama dropped the ball, and then every adult outside your mama that knew what happened, that said that they love you, dropped the fucking ball. That's who dropped the ball. The village dropped the ball.
Yeah. So nothing ever happened. Like I said, I don't know where he disappeared to, if he was just whatever, but he just never was around us again. Like I can honestly say he never was around. I never seen him but that one time. I don't even know where he been all this time, but he eventually had children, and my granddaddy and them raising them children now. So who knows? But in January, when I let it all come out, he was locked up. So I got in touch with a detective. Me and my sister traveled down there to, handle our business or whatever. And the first thing that they said that my granddaddy wife said was she getting a lawyer. Like when they called her to ask her, hey, do you know anything about what's going on? She's screaming, I'm getting a lawyer. I'm getting a lawyer.
Because she know.
Yeah. So she didn't even let the detective say, hey, like the man ain't even calling you about, he just want to ask you, could we know each other? So they visited him in jail. He said he didn't know me. The only reason why he knew my name or knew our names was because his mom was married to a man with that name, but he didn't know none of us. And I got pictures with this man.
With the man.
Like we got pictures together from when we was younger. Like, what you mean you don't know me? How you don't know me? I lost my train of thought.
So y'all press charges?
We did. Me and my sister started a case. Hopefully my other sister started a case too. I got some cousins.
Come on, sister. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in.
And I got some cousins that I feel like since they are, I don't know if since they already kind of like just dated the family out too, they just don't give a fuck to come out and say nothing.
Cousins, y'all come on in, and if y'all got a case, because let me tell you something, it's gonna make everybody else's case stronger. Mm-hmm. It's gonna make everybody else's case stronger. Like with my daughter, with her case combined with the case that my dad had caught in Florida, also it made that girl case stronger to help him get as much time as he did. Fuck it. Fuck it. You know what? Just for the fact that he can go sit his ugly ass up in there in prison and get fucked. Just down on everybody being together and do what y'all need to do.
Yeah.
Well.
So he got released out of jail in May, right before my granddaddy had heart surgery, and he went to go live in a house at my granddaddy's house. They let him go back and live with my granddaddy.
So let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. For your granddaddy, because let me tell you about how similar we are. So I called my granddaddy to tell him about his son and his sons that molested me and molested my daughter, right? And he told me that I shouldn't have went to the police about it, that I should have let him handle it, right? But my granddaddy also used to be fucking on my goddamn aunties and shit and my cousins and shit, right? And on his own grandchildren, trying to get pussy from them and shit. So The reason why is more than likely the granddaddy didn't want you to say shit. Because to say for the granddaddy to let you say shit by his son might end up some shit coming out about the granddaddy and what type of
or other
bullshit.
people in the family. I think
Yeah,
there's other people in the
yeah,
family that they've
yeah,
been protecting. I'm pretty
yeah,
sure it is. Like I said, I talked to my
yeah,
cousin. She seemed like it was normal. She like, my dad, my dad talked to him and told him we don't do this. And I'm like, that's
yeah,
how y'all handle that's okay.
yeah,
Like that's weird. That's how y'all handle the situation. Cause that's not how I'm handling mine. I'm probably not
yeah.
going to the police if something happened to mine. I'm probably gonna handle it myself. And it ain't gonna be
See,
no, I will be the one locked up at the end of the day. We ain't gotta worry about nobody else, him doing it to somebody else. Cause you put with my kids, I'm putting you under. Cause they're my kids. And I love my kids that way. And I don't know. I don't know. It blows me to this day because I live my life for these people. I mean, live my fucking life for these people. And y'all didn't think shit of me. Like I live my life for y'all and y'all think shit of me. And I don't know. It bothers me. It bothers me because it's like if I would have known that, especially if I would have known what was gonna happen to my younger siblings and cousins and stuff, I wish I would have said something sooner. Like I wish I would have went to somebody else. But it's like I went to everybody, and it's like even though I went to everybody, nothing happened. So I don't even know who I could have told.
so
Who
it
was
wasn't
the
nothing
person?
that you could have. It wasn't nothing that you could have done different.
Yeah,
Because guess what? You know why? Whether you would have told then or now, guess what? Their reaction was
it's
gonna
gonna be the
still be the
same.
same.
It was.
And that's where you got to make your peace at. Whether you would have told your mama when you was 4, or your mama on that bullshit, and if she raised like that, and that everybody got that type of mentality and this type of bullshit they own and all that kind of stuff, and that's normalized. Whether you would have told her at 4, 7, 12, it don't matter. Everybody's reaction would have
It's gonna be
still
the
been
same.
to protect the abuser,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
that's what they do.
And the family name and all that. Like
All of that,
don't
all of that.
don't fuck up this family name. Like
Yeah.
so yeah. Don't
Yeah.
fuck up
So
the
you know, at
Hindenburg
the end of the
name.
day, when you think of it like that, that's make peace with it within your soul, because you know what, at least you did tell, and just know that because you know them. I know. I know that shit would have still. Whether I would have waited till I was 40, or I would have told it I was 6 or 25, the shit was gonna still be the exact same, because I know everybody was getting fucked with.
Yeah.
I was just the one that came out and said, but I'm finna tell.
Yeah.
But
And
then, but let me tell you what you make peace with. From this day forward, the people up under you, like my little baby cousin now, you know what I'm saying? Because I came out about it a few years ago. I got peace knowing that they ain't being careless. They probably talk their shit, and they might not want to talk to me no more, and I don't give a damn. But they ain't being careless with my baby cousin them. You see what I'm saying? So the people all my little cousins that's younger than me, they ain't got to go through that shit, because whether they like the way I told it or not, they ain't taking their children around them.
yeah. And that's what I want. I want people to not keep your kids away from him.
Mm-hmm.
Like keep your kids away from him. Protect your kids.
Yeah.
Protect your kids away from him because my folks didn't give a fuck, and he gonna keep doing it. I know he gonna keep doing it. My folks didn't give a
Right.
fuck, so at least you could give a fuck about your kids. But
Right.
my folks didn't give a fuck. So yeah.
Yeah. So you doing the right thing. The timing is the right time.
So yeah,
It's the right time.
I wanted to leave this behind. I wanted to, just move past this. Like I said, I haven't been in counseling and stuff. I wanted it to be known, put it out there. So, maybe we'll get street justice. Who knows? Maybe the streets are handling it. Who knows?
You don't never know. You
Yeah,
can
but
or prison justice.
yeah. So, but I just wanted to let it be known. Like I said, we've been hiding it, and it shouldn't be an embarrassment, but it is kind of embarrassing to know that your family didn't give a fuck enough to, do anything. So that's kind of
They should.
embarrassing. But
They the ones who should be embarrassed. Hell, you ain't got a goddamn thing to be embarrassed. Nothing for y'all to be embarrassed. The victim, the people who was victimized, it ain't nothing for y'all to be embarrassed about. If anything, they ought to be embarrassed to send they grown musty ass up there, knowing what's going on in the family, and ain't nobody doing nothing about it. Hell, what the hell y'all got to be embarrassed about? Nigga, y'all ought to be embarrassed that y'all letting these grown ass men, these boys, that fuck on this. And y'all know about it. Y'all ought to be shamed. Y'all got husbands and shit and boyfriends and shit. And y'all know what's right and wrong. And y'all like it's okay for cuz and uncle them to be fucking on us. Like that, y'all ought to be shamed. You ain't got shit to be shamed for. Hey, I ain't got nothing to be shamed about. If anybody ought to be embarrassed, it ought to be them. How dare you allow this shit to happen? And don't nobody in the family do a fuck thing. Yeah. You know, for y'all none of y'all to be. Let me tell you, I ain't ashamed about shit. I ain't ashamed about being no motherfucking child and a grown ass man making the decision to manipulate and take advantage of me. I ain't ashamed of that because I had the mind of a child. And even in you seeing the stuff that you seeing, you still was a child. And if it was made to be okay, that was normal. Hell, if you grow up seeing that, that's normal. It don't make you no less of a child. It just make it something that's normal to you. It don't make, you know what I'm saying? That's your normal. It might not be our normal, but that's your normal. If that's how you grow up seeing that shit, so you're not gonna think it's weird.
Right.
So you ain't no blame and no shame over there on you or nobody else that it happened to, Alexis. None of that. Let that shit go. Ain't no blame and no shame on you. You just keep finding the way that, you know, it's probably gonna take time, but ain't none on you though, sis. None.
Yeah. And
Ain't none on you.
I'll feel better if something, like I said, we got these cases and everything. I'll feel better once something happens. I feel like I'll be complete when something happens. But at this point, I feel like I done got peace. I got my peace, especially knowing that, you know, I was able to come out and say something. I didn't care anymore. And that was hard because I always worry about, is my granddaddy going to see it? Is my grandma going to see it? Who
And you
going to
know what?
see it?
Hopefully they do see it. We
Oh,
hope
now
y'all
I don't
do see
care.
it.
I put it public. Like when I came out, I put it in the public because I
Yeah.
decided that y'all dead to me. I mourned y'all, and it was hard, but I had to go ahead and do that part. I had to go ahead and kill y'all off and be okay with it. And I did that. I'm okay with it. I probably will never see my granddad again. Love him to death. I never see the man again. Live my life for him. Never see him again.
But
But
have you made peace with that? Is that what you really want?
that's what I want. If you don't love me, how can I love you? Like I only need people around me that love me. My husband loves me.
So
Like
let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. If your grandparents came and took accountability for what happened,
you don't know my family. That's not happening. You don't
I'm
know
just
my
saying.
family.
Well, you're right.
It's not happening.
So you made peace with it. Long as you made peace with it, you that's it. That's all that matters. Long as you made peace with it.
It you know, stuff happened. It happened. It happened. Let's move on. That's the family I live in. I know that. I've been in this family all these years. It's what happened. Let's move on. You know, get over it. You know, stuff happen like this all the time. It don't stop nobody. I even used to say that. I can say I used to say that. I used to say when girls be like they got molested and stuff, I'm like y'all need to get over it. Like shit just happened. Get over it. Live your life. Don't be around here talking about you can't
And
get
you
over
weren't even over it.
but I wasn't over. But I had made myself feel like I could do this. But like I said,
Mm-hmm.
a couple years ago, it just hit me. Like I was living my life, and a couple years ago, it just hit me so hard. Like you can't keep running from this. Like you can't just keep putting this to the back because I put it behind me, and it's just something just came over me. Like girl, get it out. And it's been haunting me for years. 6, 7, 8 years been haunting me. Like it's time for you to say something. It's time for you to say something. And I I called to get my granddaddy approval. That was the purpose of me calling him. I wanted to get his approval because that's who I care. That's who matter. Like I don't really care what my mama think or anybody else. It's whatever my granddaddy think. My dad and my mama, none of y'all matter. It's what my granddaddy think. But it's just in that moment when he said, "Well, just let God handle it." It just crushed me. And then I had a conversation with him a couple days ago. He was like, maybe he told me it was me. He told me he didn't remember. He don't recall or something. I'm like, how you don't recall? Like it's the fact that you randomly fucking forgot this happened. That's the part that blows. You randomly forgot that this happened. Like you don't recall that all this happened to all your fucking grandkids. You don't recall that. Like that's something that you just selectively fucking forgot.
Mm-hmm.
And if I thought anybody loved me, I thought it was him. And he just don't. He don't love us. Obviously he love his wife, and he gonna stick by his wife and her son to the
Mm-hmm.
day is over. So
Trust me, they know exactly what's going on and what he did. They know.
yep. And like I said, my sister said, my mama say that my granddaddy was the one who said, "Don't worry about it. Don't put them kids through it." And then I hear all kinds of different versions of you know what happened, of why why nobody did anything. And it was just I'm overwhelmed with the versions. But don't you worry, I'll do something about it. Y'all ain't gotta worry about it. Y'all didn't do it then. Let me handle it now because I can't keep waiting on y'all. I don't even care what your version of the story is or why you didn't do anything. I'm gonna step up and do something. Me and my sister stepped up and do something. We're gonna do something about this because we ain't finna keep letting it happen. So
That's what you're supposed to do. That's what you're supposed. That's why now was the perfect time for you to move, for you to do it, for you to speak about it. Because guess what? You grown now. You strong now. You could become an advocate now. You can help other young girls. You know, you you to free some people up on here today. It's so many broken women. It's so many women that can't tell their story and can't vocalize what you just did, but just because you just did that, what they can't say, you said that for them.
and
It's so many
I hope
people.
other people I hope
It's
other
so many
people
people.
find the
It's so many
strength.
people needed you. It's so many people needed you tonight. You don't even you. I know what my inbox finna look like. It's so many people that needed you tonight. You don't even. This shit ain't even. This ain't even. It ain't even. It's for you, but it's not even for you.
Yeah, like before we came to this point, I struggled with this before we got here. I mean, you've been talking for days. I've been struggling. I ain't want to do this, but it's just like I had to. Like if I don't do it, it's gonna eat me alive. I gotta do it, and I don't know. So yeah, Lil Dedrick Jermaine West, please,
Let me put his picture back up
please,
here again with his ugly ass. This
yeah,
him.
please keep your kids. He like girls and boys. He does not. He do not discriminate. He like boys
Oh,
and
he said.
girls. It's
Mm-hmm.
boy victims, it's girl victims. He like them all. He don't
Mm-hmm.
discriminate. He like them all. He like them all.
That's him.
He like girls and boys. Don't get it twisted. Keep your sons away. Keep your daughters away. He like them all.
That's him. Right there. That's him.
And if if something has happened to your children, I say go start a case. Go down to the Child Advocate Center. Start a case. It'll help us. It'll help me and my sisters. If
Yeah.
my cousins decide to come forward, it'll help all of us. Go down there, start your case. If something has happened, don't go thinking that my grandparents or my family gonna do anything different. They gonna protect him because they not messing up that name. They're not messing up that family name. That family name is more important than anything in this world. So they're not gonna mess it up.
Well, you did what you had to do. Anything else that you want to say? He in
He in
last you
Mobile.
heard he was in Mobile.
Yeah, he live in Mobile. I know he not locked up because he was locked up, but like I said, he got out in May. And when he got out of May, he went to go live with my granddaddy. And my granddaddy is raising his kids. He went to go live with my granddaddy and his kids. And when I found out, like me and my sisters had wrote my auntie like, "What's going on? How the hell he getting there?" And my auntie said, "I said, y'all don't think he'll rape them kids?" And my auntie said, "Them his kids. We don't think that he'll be dumb enough to do that to his own kids."
Yes, they
She
will.
she think he won't, and she told me like my auntie, and I don't blame my auntie because I do feel like she did go to the child advocate center. She tried to get her child some help, so I'm not mad at her, but
Right.
it's just like she like blame your mammy, blame your mammy. I already blame my mammy. Trust me, I blame her, but I feel like you could have did more too. I understand you went to the child, but you could have kept saying something. You could have kept doing something. You could have told your daddy. You could have stood up to your daddy and said, "Daddy, this is wrong. Something need to
Mm-hmm.
be done. Daddy, you need to do something about it." Nobody did nothing. Y'all just hid your hands and just sat on your hands and just said, "Okay, well, just let's just keep him away from the kids." And it wouldn't even keep him because, like I said, that same auntie, I swear, he was at that house that time that we went back. We went back to Mobile one time and I saw him. And I just want to sit in the car because I can't believe y'all got him
Yeah,
around.
that's what I always say. That you then the victim have to go and see the nigga at the family reunion, have to see him at Christmas around the table and all that kind of stuff, and be made to
Pictures
feel
of him all
uncomfortable.
up in the house at my granddaddy's
Yeah,
house.
girl, I say it all the time. I say I just re-victimize them again. Have making you have to live through it again.
Yep. They try to warn me not to come down there when my granddaddy had his heart surgery, which I wasn't going. Like I said, I already killed him off. But yeah, they, hit me up. Don't go down there because, Dedrick living with granddad. Don't you worry. I won't be down there. I won't be back. There's no reason for me to go back. Mardi Gras maybe, but y'all won't know I'm there. We're not going back. That part of me is dead. That part of me is dead, and it's okay. I've mourned them. I went to counseling, and we killed them, and we mourned them together. So I've mourned all these people.
I get it because I know I done made peace. I mean, I'm good. So I know you good. Yeah, and you done went to counseling and you done did the work and you made peace that because that's what matters now. It's time for you to be a little selfish and worry about your peace and what makes you happy and it cutting that part of your life, them people out your life, bring you peace and that's what make you happy. Oh, that's just what you got to do. Yeah, and as long as you happy with that decision,
Okay.
that's all that matters.
But yeah.
Anything else you would like to say, ma'am, before we get off of here? Because I want you to let it out. I want it all to be out. We about to get ready to go in 2023. All this shit gonna be back here, and whatever you got to deal with as far as anything else, it's gonna just be like victorious type of shit, like a nigga going to jail. You know what I'm saying? And shit like that. All that sad shit, you done did your job. You done put it out there. I promise you, people in Mobile so nosy, they're gonna watch this video. Make sure y'all share this video. Share this video. Make sure y'all share it. Everybody, please share it on your Facebook pages. Cause to not share it on y'all Facebook page is to not make other people aware of what it is that he is doing. So please share it on y'all Facebook page. Please share. Y'all can go right over there on somebody's business. Janae, I told Janae to make sure that she share it over there on somebody's business too and in the group. Make sure y'all share it off of somebody's business. Share it off of here. And because the more people share it, the more people going to see it.
The
And the
more people
more
be
people,
aware.
yep, you can make people aware of that's who he is. They need to see him. So anything else you want to say, Miss Alexis?
No, I just thank you for this opportunity to say what I need to say. Say the parts that I wanted to put out and let me, allow me to keep what I want to keep to myself. And just encouraging me because, it's not easy to not blame yourself. I get where everybody comes from because people tell me all the time, you can't blame yourself. It's just kind of just, I'm still working on that part.
You'll get there.
I'm working on that part because I let it happen to my siblings, and it's fucked up. Cause
You ain't let nothing happen. That if he was sick, he was gonna do it anyway. You want no adult. You ain't let nothing happen. He did what he was gonna do anyway. That was the devil up in there. I call him the boogeyman. If you read my caption, I always thought of my uncle when I was a little girl as the boogeyman. I realized very young who the boogeyman was. And the fact that he could fuck around and fuck with all of us and had all of us not being not to tell.
And that's the exact same thing. Like I think that if the situation, whatever the situation was that how my auntie found out, she would never find out. This still would have kept going. It just so happened that something happened and she found out. If she would have never found out, this would have kept going. And I probably still wouldn't have said nothing. I probably would have been back in Mobile at 15, 16, 17 years old, just like, don't say nothing, just keep going, And so I'm thankful for this opportunity. Thank you for giving me a chance to just free myself of this, because
you saved another little girl. Yeah. You saved another little you so many little girls that you save right now by talking about it and by saying his name, about people being able to see a picture and knowing what he did. You have saved. You know how many women not gonna date him? To have him around their children. You know how many people gonna pull their little girls close to them anytime they feel like he around? How many people gonna exit the fucking building when he come in the room? I have seen it. You have saved so many little girls. So although you feel like you didn't save your sisters and you didn't save your cousins, By y'all coming forward, think about all the girls that y'all gonna save now. Cause they don't stop because they get older.
I believe that. I believe that. And like I said, my post, that's what I posted when I first came out of Facebook. I said if he did it, then he not stopping now. What I mean, what's the difference
Mhm.
now? It's nothing different. It's just he older now and he's scarier now.
And probably smarter with how he moved with it.
And it just make him more scarier to kids that's way smaller now.
Mm-hmm.
He even scarier because he older now.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I
Yep.
hope this helps somebody. I hope
It
that
will.
I hope that he get his,
It
however it
will.
come.
And like you said, Cammy and boys, it will.
Yeah,
You did what you're supposed
and
to do.
boys.
And well done. You did it.
Thank you.
You did it. So thank you so much for coming on here on my little polar show, child. You know, we done got booted from different places, but we here on Facebook. As I said, maybe on YouTube. Like I said, make sure y'all share it. Share it on Facebook. Share it wherever you can share it. Call somebody, tell somebody to come watch it. Put your girls, put your little boys in front of the TV so they can know that, you know, the boogeyman does exist, and the boogeyman ain't nobody that's walking around with a mess. It could be uncle, it could be cousin, it could be brother. It's somebody that looks just like them, possibly. So thank you everybody for watching. Thank you so much, Alexis, for coming on here. I appreciate it. I really do. And you got my number, so anytime you need to call me, trust me, I can relate. You can call me. I'll be up. If you
Okay.
need to cry, you can call me. Real shit. You can call me. I love y'all. I love everybody that love me. And y'all know I with everybody that with me. And I'm gonna talk to y'all later. I'm gonna talk to y'all Sunday in the group. We got a show. I love y'all. Love bye.
Bye. Thank you.